Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is, whoa! I got dizzy there for a minute, did you? Welcome back to Insight on Business, the News Hour. My name is Michael Libbie, and this is all powered by our advertising agency, Insight Advertising, Marketing, and Communications. If you want to have a conversation with us, that's great. We do monitor Twitter on a regular basis before, during, and after the show. It's at InsightADV. It's on your screen right now. It's at Insight, INSIGHT. ADV. That's for, obviously, Insight Advertising, all being made possible by our friends at FWRSA. FWRSA, ladies and gentlemen, tax and accounting professionals that will work hard for your business until the cows come home. Well, this is called Evolve or Die. What does your business have anything in common to do with this image that we saw last week? Now, this is for a sail maker, E.L. Rowe, and you can see here from the image they make sails and tents and awnings and wagon covers. Last week we were struck by this image. We belong to a blog post. It's called Old Ads Are Funny. It's the kind of thing that advertising people read. And this ad is from 1869 out of Gloucester, Massachusetts. And it got us to thinking about how some businesses may be stuck in the past, in the past, and that then has a direct effect on their ability to sell whatever it is, their goods or services that they're trying to do. I have a good friend, his name is Mike Wagner. He works with the White Rabbit Group here in the Des Moines area, and he says that there are 3 reasons why businesses fail to sell more of the stuff that they manufacture. And those 3 reasons, we're going to give it to you also graphically today, kids. Reason number 1, according to my friend Mike Wagner, and we've parodied this, is that you have the wrong infrastructure. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, you might have an old factory, an old distribution system, old manufacturing process, and those old things keep you from realizing your full potential. In other words, your distribution system is wrong. You can't get the product to the consumer in the correct time. You can't make the turnaround very quick. You are stuck in 1869. All right? Reason number 2 that people quit buying products and or services is oftentimes that you have the wrong people on board. Here we've got an image of the new boss in circa 1930s, 1940s image, and he's meeting all of these people for perhaps the first time. Nice folks doing jobs that they should or should not do, which inhibits the growth of your company. If you stop and think about this for a while, just because Mary Jane or Bobby Joe have had a business for a long time in your company, and they're in a specific seat, doesn't necessarily mean that they should always be there doing that same job, because things change. I can't tell you how many companies have employed someone in the marketing department that doesn't understand the nuances of new marketing ways in social media, video, and a host of other things, and are stuck in the 1940s with print advertising and maybe a radio ad or 2. Sometimes the people are in the wrong place. And then finally, according to Mike Wagner, here's the 3rd reason that nobody buys the products or services that many people have for sale. It's the wrong product. Consumers have moved on and they just don't want what you make anymore. This is an image of a guy with a bullhorn. Actually, it's the old kind of megaphone. And who makes megaphones these days other than for sporting events at University of Iowa or Iowa State or Northern Iowa, the cheerleaders? You see, people don't make those things anymore, and because people don't use them anymore. And it may be in your business too. You might be making sails and wagon covers, but the opportunity to sell sails and wagon covers has long since passed you by. That's the story. Are you making sales or are you making sales? If you're not making any sales, it's probably because one of those 3 reasons: wrong factory, wrong distribution process, wrong people, or simply the wrong product. Evolve or die. Don't be the sales maker from Gloucester, Mass. Although maybe sail making right now would probably be pretty good, Chris. I don't know. I mean, Gloucester, Mass. Park the car on the yard. Hey, this is an interesting story. Last week, the New York Times, and here's their logo, of course, beginning on June 27, any mobile user of the New York Times applications can view 3 stories in all sections, blogs, and sideshows. The company said today previously non-subscriber could read all the articles in the top news section. The Times is facing an industry-wide advertising slump and is relying more on subscription fees. Get this, kids. Last year, revenues for subscriptions to the New York Times outpaced sales of display advertising, turning the typical business model of newspapers on its head. The Times introduced its online paywall in 2011 and tightened its monthly limit on free articles on the web from 10 to 10 from 20 about a year later. It said that this year it's planning both cheaper, more limited digital subscriptions for a more expensive package that will also include extras. Get this, here's the numbers. Paid digital subscriptions across the New York Times Company, which also owns the International Herald Tribune, the Boston Globe, totaled 708,000 at the end of the first quarter, according to the company. That's up 45% from a year earlier. 45% increase in subscription revenue. We'll have Lynn Hicks on from the Des Moines Register in a little bit. We'll be asking him about that. Let's talk about video and your business, okay? This is the next story that you need to pay attention to. It's been our experience over the years in our advertising agency that most businesses do not understand the power that video has to convert lookers into buyers. Well, now there's been a new study released about that very subject. And this is about, and this is what's weird about this. Most business owners watch television, and they watch television commercials, and they like certain television shows. But to be able to construct a video that's not only meaningful, but also informative, seems to oftentimes pass by their abilities. We don't get it either, but that's the truth. That's what we do for a living, and we get to talk to people all the time about how to do a much better job in converting lookers into buyers using video. Now, this might help. Here's a recent study. Ripple, they changed their name to Work.com, commissioned an animated video to better explain what the company does and how purchasing their product can improve human resource efforts of their clients. Now, the result, and this is stunning, this video increased their online conversion rate by, ready, hold on to your seat, kids, by 20%. Normal conversion rates run about 5 to 8%. This company was able to boost their conversion rates by up to 20% by simply using an explanatory video that tells what the heck it is that their business does for private companies. Wouldn't you like to have a conversion rate like that? That's 2 times? More than 2 times the normal. So what is an explainer video? Okay, we've got a real quick, this is from Dropbox. We're not going to play the entire 2 minutes and 23 seconds, but this is from Dropbox. This is an example of a very simple explainer video built around the idea that you don't know anything about Dropbox, but this video could help you conceptualize how it is used. Chris, can you roll that tape?
You've been there. You're about to buy lunch and realize your wallet is in your other pants. Or maybe you left your keys at home. The problem is organization. You need one place for everything, like a magic pocket. Putting something in the magic pocket means it's always there, no matter what you wear or where you are. The same thing is true for computers. If you have more than one, keeping track of all of your files can be a pain. Solving this problem is one of the big ideas behind Dropbox. It's like a magic pocket, a single, secure place for all of your stuff. Let's meet Josh, who is preparing for a big trip to Africa. Right now, all of his trip info is spread across his laptop, desktop, and phone. He needs to consolidate it all and is tired of having to email files to himself or move them around with a USB drive. Then he found Dropbox, which creates a new kind of folder on his computers. These folders work hard to be exactly alike, even across Macs and PCs. By adding his itinerary to his laptop Dropbox, he can be sure the same file will show up in his desktop Dropbox and even on his phone. The same thing happens when he saves a document in a Dropbox folder. The document gets updated across all of his Dropboxes. But it's not just his computers. The Dropbox website also works to be exactly like his other Dropboxes. Anything he puts in Dropbox is available on the website automatically. This way, if his Jeep
so there you go. That's an example of an explainer video from our friends over at Dropbox. Now listen to this. According to a recent study about web use, the average attention span in 2012 among web browsing people is 8 seconds. In other words, you have almost as much time as you have to capture the imagination of somebody at a trade show, ladies and gentlemen. 8 seconds. That's down from 12 seconds in 2000. Apparently, technology is affecting us so much that we now have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. Goldfish, by the way, have an attention span of 9 seconds. More importantly for marketers or business people is that businesses have only 8 seconds to capture the attention on your landing pages. Not only do you need to make sure your hosting is fast so that you don't waste those 8 seconds with load time, you also need content that engages the consumer. In other words, why is it that your web page has almost 0 calls to action? I don't get it. Why is it that your web page doesn't have a video that explains what in the heck it is that you do in a very creative way? I don't know. You want to convert people from just lookers to consumers to buyers? Maybe video starts to become the answer. You can call us. We can even help you out with that. This is Insight on Business. When we come back, Lynn Hicks, ladies and gentlemen, he's the business editor for the Des Moines Register. We've got lots of questions for Lynn about business, about what changes he's seen in the 18 years that he's been with the Register, and about their new digs just down the street from our studios here at Webcast One Live. Lynn Hicks from the Des Moines Register when we come back. This is Insight on Business. Back with more right after this.